Hey everyone, today in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can start preparing to take time off during the holidays. All right, let's get started. Okay, so one of the reasons why I do this is because I find that as an entrepreneur, it's really hard to take time off. I mean, really hard to take like full time off, right? And my coaching clients already know that I close my program doors during the last 2 weeks of the holiday season, the last 2 weeks of the year. But the problem is that I still sometimes work, and that's okay if you want to do it. But if you're having to do it, it's a completely different thing, right? Because what I like to use that time for is time to reflect about my year, time to think about what I want to do for the next year and not have so many things that, being under a deadline, that sort of thing. And so I wanted to help you today to start thinking about, I know it's only October, but start thinking about how you can start preparing so you can take that time off. Now, we all know the typical things of, if you're going to have some sort of an email campaign going, to do it ahead of time and get it scheduled, right? But I wanted to go a little bit deeper than that. So the first thing that I think you should do is plan what you're going to do for January right now. Because if you take the last 2 weeks of the year off, you're going to go right into that January, program, whatever it is you're doing. If you're going to do a live launch, or you're going to, kick off some sort of an offer, or whatever it is that you're planning on doing. And you don't want to be clamoring, to get it done in the last 2 weeks of the year. And so we often stack ourselves with so many things to do that we're doing a lot of stuff in real time. And, raise your hand, put it in the comments if you're doing something in real time that you could have scheduled up front, you could have gotten it done earlier, and then you wouldn't have this headache of trying to do things in real time, which is kind of a drag. Well, not always a drag. Sometimes it just works to your benefit, right? And so start planning January now. And then now that you have January planned out, let's start looking at all of the things that you need to do between now and January. And not just for that January thing, but if you're running a Black Friday sale, if you're running some holiday campaigns, anything that you might be doing, if you're doing a boot camp or an event or a summit, start looking at all the things that you need to do and sort of map out what you need to do in each and every sprint, right? We're all about Scrum, and Scrum is about working in sprints. And so if you start looking at the number of sprints, if you have a 2-week sprint or whatever, and you start working toward how many sprints do you have until January, and what do you need to get done in each one of those sprints, it'll really help you start organizing when you should do things and what you should be doing during each one of those sprints. So plan January now, and then start prioritizing all of the things you need. Start sort of loosely mapping it out into sprints so that you don't get overwhelmed now because you feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do now that I added January in there. But more of mapping things out so that you can pace yourself, so that you don't end up overwhelmed. You don't end up, scrapping everything that you want to do and blowing it all off. Then the other thing that I think you should do is start eliminating anything where you're a little too late, right? Sometimes we like to do things in real time, and that's perfectly okay. But if it's causing you stress or anxiety, and you just feel like it's not as important as what you're going to do in January, then you can start eliminating those things. Remember, we like to prioritize the Scrum way: must have, should have, could have, and won't have at this time, right? And so thinking about the iPhone, right? If you're going to release something on January, what do you need to maybe scrap or eliminate, or have it be, I won't have it this time, that you would do later or next year? And allow, give yourself a little bit more wiggle room so that you can get those things done. Because remember, taking time off is really important too. And I understand, it's really important to get all your things done, but taking time off and really unplugging from your business is going to help you in the long run, because it will refresh you. It'll help you start stepping back and looking at your business from that 10,000 foot view and thinking about it from that sort of mindset, right? The visionary mindset instead of the, oh my gosh, I have everything to do mindset, right? So eliminate anything that it's kind of too little too late to get started now, put it off for next year. And then, you know, a Black Friday sale would be a perfect example. Although if you really want to do it, you can grab my Black Friday kit. It's at thescrumshop.com/BFE kit. And you can get that so you can drive that spike through, you know, creating that very first Black Friday promotion, if that's what you want to do. The other thing too is to remember that your coaching clients want to take time off too. So rather than having them, you know, having your like coaching meetings and things like that during the last year, closing down your business, closing down your programs during that period of time also allows your clients to take a breather too. They don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, they're going to miss something if they don't show up, and they're not getting their money's worth if they aren't there. They don't have to feel that way because you've built it in and you're giving your own clients a break. The last thing is to really start thinking about, now that you're working ahead, right? You're really thinking about January. Why not start thinking about your whole entire year ahead of time and start being a little bit more proactive and planning your work more ahead of time? Maybe working a whole entire quarter in advance could be a great goal, right? Maybe you're a little bit too late this month, this quarter, to start working a whole entire quarter in advance. But if you work a little bit more in advance, it can help relieve the stress. Now, I want to caution you on one of those things is, if you're like me, I know sometimes if I work too far ahead, I feel disconnected to my content. I feel disconnected from my clients and some of the things that I do. So there's a balance there, right? And you've got to find that balance for you and your life and your family so that you can make sure that you're getting plenty of rest time, make sure you're working ahead enough to not cause yourself stress and those late nights and that crazy stuff that we do to ourselves. And then, you know, just kind of relax into it and really start thinking about the systems that you want to put in place for the rest of your business, the rest of the life of your business. And that could be 10, 20, 30 years. I don't, depends on how long you're, you know, how old you are and how when you plan on retiring. But remember that you're creating a career for yourself. You're creating a you're creating systems for yourself so that you can endure, the long haul, and you can be one of the winners at the end and not be one of the stats that folds up after, you know, 3 to 5 years, right? So let's keep going. Let's keep thinking about all the things that we can do to improve our businesses, to improve our lives, to improve the way we run our businesses, so that we can have that time to be the visionary of our business and take that needed time off every single year, at least in the holidays. I like to take about a week off every quarter. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but that is one of the things that I have as a goal in mind as well. So you can too. It's just a matter of putting those things, you know, as a priority, and then building your work and your business around the life that you want. And I wish that somebody had told me that, you know, when I first started, because, you know, I started my business as a side hustle, and so at times it can feel like I'm still doing both, working a full-time job and a side hustle. But really, most of the time, I don't work more than about 6 to 7 hours a day, and I always make time to relax and to take care of myself. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope that you will try to figure out a way that you can get into a nice rhythm so that you can have holidays off and you can relax, see your business from that 10,000-foot view, and enjoy your business and your life. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you in the comments. Bye.